Hello dear students, welcome to the another video tutorial of histology. In that we have started the third chapter, that will be the histological study of organs. We have started with the skin. Okay, so we have seen this, what is the general idea about the skin, and it is the most um, largest organ of our body, and its specifications we have seen. Okay, so let's start with the second session for the skin. Okay, we have seen the skin anatomy, that what are the three layers, that is the epidermis, dermis, hypodermis, and fourth one will be the subcutaneous layers. Okay, so we have also seen the key fact about the histology of skin. We have seen the gross, we have started uh, for the point with the gross anatomy, and in gross anatomy we will see the epidermis in detail. Okay, we have started with the epidermis. Okay, in that we have seen the cell types of the epidermis. Okay, so we have started with the cell types. Okay, and we will today's session we will see about the layers of the epidermis. Okay, so layers of the epidermis, that will we will see from the innermost layer to the outermost layer. Okay, so the innermost layer will be the stratum basal, then upon that will be the stratum spinosum, and upon that will be the stratum granulosum, and upon that will be the stratum lucidum, and then stratum corneum. If you see the from uh, upper side to the lower, okay, that means upside down you will see, then you will see the first layer will be that the stratum cornicum, then stratum lucidum, then stratum granulosum, then stratum spinosum, and then stratum basal. Okay, so we have seen the cell types, that how many cell types, that are the three cell types we have seen: the keratinocytes, melanocytes, and the Langerhans cells. Okay, so let's start with the layers of the epidermis. Okay, so the histological composition of the five layers of the epidermis, okay, we will see as follows. Okay, so as you can see, the very first layer will be the stratum basal. Okay, okay, so as you can see, the up, upward open part will be the uppermost will be the epidermis. Okay, and there the light pink color will be the middle layer, and then the fourth layer, and third and the fourth layer of the skin. But we are focusing on the first layer, that will be the epidermis. Okay, in that the last layer of the epidermis will be the stratum basal. Okay, at the base of the epidermis will be strata and stratum basal layers. Okay, so the stratum basal act as the stem cell region of the epidermis, stem cell of epidermis, and it consists of a mixture of a simple cuboidal and columnar epithelials. Okay, and rest on the basement membranes. Okay, the simple cuboidal epithelium cells made up of this epidermis. Okay, and this epidermis is made up of these simple columnar epithelial cells, and compared to the cytoplasm, and the nuclei of these cells are large, euchromatic, with the prominent nucleoli giving a marked basilia. Okay, and this basophilia to the this layer, that will be the stratum basal layer, and the basement membrane serves as the point of demarcation or the demarcation between the epidermis and the dermis, that is the dermo-epidermal junctions. Okay, that means the junction between the dermis layer and the epidermis layers is covered or cushioned by the stratum basal layer. Okay, the junction between these two layers. Okay, and via desmosomes and these adjacent cells, via desmosomes they are interconnected, and the basement membrane by hemidesmosomes. Okay, they are connected with desmosomes and the hemidesmosomes, they are the connecting tissues. Okay, so as this layer, the very first layer, the stratum basal, as the stratum basal layer is highly mitotic cells, hence they called as the stem cells of the epidermis. Okay, and they are replicate and they ascend their layers of the dermis carrying intermediate keratin filaments. Okay, so as you can see in the picture, that will be the stratum basal layer. Okay, this was a diagrammatic representation, and this is the actual image, the histological image, the histobiology of this particular uh, stratum basal or this epidermis, as you can see in the picture. Okay, so as highlighted in the green color strip, that will be the stratum basal layer. Okay, and that is the junction in between the epidermis and the dermis layer. Okay, the epidermis is the uppermost layer and the dermis will be the second layer of the skin. Okay, so only the Merkel cells that are attached to the adjacent keratinocytes via desmosomes in these layers. Okay, and they are interconnected, that cells with the interconnected with the dermis layer will be desmosomes. Okay, so the Langerhans cells and the melanocytes do not have these connections. Okay, as you can see the next picture, that the basement membrane of epidermis and um, that will be the membrana basalis epidermidis. Okay, and that membrana basalis, that means the basements of this particular stratum basal. Okay, and that, as you can see in the picture, that the basal membrane that keratinized, as you can see, that membrane is going to up and down and up and down. That crusties formed by that membrane are shown in the basement membrane of epidermis, and that is named as the membrana basalis epidermidis. Okay, so the second layer will be the stratum spinosum. Okay, the stratum spinosum, the second layer. Okay, from the inner side, the second layer. Okay, and from upper side, that will be the fourth layer. Okay, as you can see, go deep in the skin. Okay, so the most of the cell ascending from the stratum basal to entire the stratum spinosum are post-mitotic cells and are committed to becoming a mature keratinocytes. Okay, the mature keratinocytes, that means the they are that after the proliferation, after the um, post-mitotic cells, they are going to convert into the keratinocytes, and the keratin formation are they are going to do. Okay, so however there are a few stem cells in the basal region of the stratum spinosum. Okay, as you can see in the stratum basal, there itself all layer is considered as the stem cell, but the condition is not here like the stratum basal. Okay, the stratum spinosum will be the some or quite a few stem cells are present in the stratum spinosum, that will be going to again in the mitotic divisions and producing the cells. Okay, but these cells are going to in mature stage, and they are going to convert into the keratinocytes, and they are going to produce the keratin. Okay, so there are approximately 4 to 6 layers of cuboidal or slightly flattened cells in the stratum spinosum. Okay, and in this region that are taped or the trapped the point of attachment to the adjacent cells via desmosomes. Okay, and the prickled appearance of these cells, that 4 to 6 layers of cuboidal slightly flattened cells, the prickled appearance of that cells arises during the histological preparations. Okay, if you do the histological preparations uh, in your practical, so as you can see the prickle appearance, how that the epidermis has look like, and how the stratum spinosum layers is differs from the other layers of the epidermis. Okay, so as you can see the where these cells are shrink away from each expect at a point of attachment to the neighboring cells. Okay, point of attachment to the neighboring cells of neighboring regions, that will be the stratas of the epidermis. And the cytoplasm contains the concentric arrangement of the keratin filaments. Okay, that concentric arrangement of the keratin filaments, that's um, circumscribes the nucleus and the from the attachment to the desmosomes. Okay, the melanosomes are the cells which are producing the melanin pigments. Okay, and these melanosomes can also be found in the cytoplasm of this stratum spinosum cells layer. Okay, and that melanosomes, it is the melanosomes are not uncommon to find Langerhans cells and the lymphocytes in the prickle layer. Okay, and that prickle layer, but these are the only non-keratinocytes that will be observed histologically in the area. That area will be the stratum spinosum under the normal circumstances. Okay, and the circumstances should be normal for this. Okay, the melanosomes, at some time melanosomes are seen in the stratum spinosum, that will be the second last layer from the top. Okay, will be the stratum spinosum. The third layer uh, from the bottom will be the stratum granulosum. Okay, and this stratum granulosum means something like granules you can see in this particular layer. So as you can see in this picture of the stratum spinosum, as you can see highlighted in the green color. Okay, so let's start with the stratum granulosum. During the upward migration from the stratum spinosum, okay, where from stratum spinosum to the stratum granulosum, during the upward migration from the stratum spinosum, the cells of the stratum granulosum become flat and polygonal, and from 2 to 3 layers of the um, pycnotic cell. Okay, the pycnotic cells, that means the flattened polygonal shape layers. And the, as you can see, the stratum spinosum, the cells are the cuboidal. Okay, cuboidal or slightly flat, but they are cuboidal. Okay, stratum in stratum spinosum, but in stratum granulosum they are flat and polygonal. Okay, they are not in cuboidal shape, they are polygonal in shape. Okay, and they are completely flat. Okay, this will be the difference in between stratum granulosum and stratum spinosum. Okay, as you can see, the that Knoxis is the characteristics of features of the apoptosis. Okay, and that apoptosis means cell death. Okay, so these precognitic or the precognitic cells, that will be the characteristic features of the apoptosis and necrosis. Okay, and in which this nuclear material condenses the keratinocytes. The keratinocytes is this disintegration of the nucleus. Okay, there will be the disintegration of the nucleus in that, and subsequently they are subsequently ensues. Okay, so there will be as you can see in the picture, the stratum granulosum, something like granules as you can see. Okay, so the they releases their hypophobic uh, gly- glycophospholipid glycophospholipids. Okay, and contained into the they are contained into the intracellular compartments. Okay, and that compartments by fusing with the keratinocytes. Okay, that with the plasma membrane. Okay, So as you can see, this contributes to the selective permeability of the skin. Okay, so this layer stratum granulosum contributes the selective permeability barrier and selective permeability of the skin. That means how that our skin is going to react for the osmoregulations. Okay, the osmoregulations, that means the osmosis, that it contains the concentration or the migration of the molecules from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. But at this stage of the stratum granulosum, so they releases their hydrophobic glycophospholipids. That means in these layers are the hydrophobic layers, and they are not going to easily pass the all the dissolved materials into the water. Okay, but they are hydrophobic in nature, their characteristics. Okay, so they are comprises in between the hydrophobicity of the our membrane. Okay, and that plasma membrane is going to a barrier between these solute stages, that will be the isotonic or your tonicity of this particular your organ, that skin is maintained by the stratum granulosum. Okay, so they are going to decide that the permeability or the permeability of the skin is making at its relatively waterproof. Okay, so they are the layer that stratum granulosum are going to make your skin waterproof. Okay, so as the cellular organelles break down the keratin tonofilaments, interact with the keratinohaline, okay, granules, and they produce the keratins. Okay, so these keratin is usually the soft keratin, that is the skin. Okay, that is of the skin of the soft keratin. Okay, as opposed to the hard keratin of the hair and the nails. Okay, as you can see, the your hair and the nails are made up of the hard keratin. Okay, they are made up of the keratin protein itself. But in the scale, that this stratum granulosum will be this smooth keratin to make your skin waterproof. Okay, so the fourth layer will be the stratum lucidum. Okay, as you can see, the stratum lucidum is the epidermal layer only. Okay, and appearance or the appreciated in the glabrous skin or the glabrous skin. Okay, so as you can see the glabrous skin of the different personals. Okay, and hence a translucent layer of the cell lies above the stratum granulosum and below the stratum corneum. Okay, the difference in between skin shades. Okay, that will be maintained by this stratum lucidum. Okay, and the cells are filled with the keratin filaments, that will be the uh, uh, if that keratin pigments are hard or the smooth. Okay, that will be maintained by this stratum lucidum, and then that skin tones are made look changes. Okay, so the filaments are devoid of the nuclei and the organelles. As you can see in the picture, that fine line of the um, this stratum lucidum is highlighted in the green color. Okay, so let's move forward. The last layer of the epidermis will be the stratum corneum, and this is the uppermost layer. Okay, from the top. Okay, so from the top, this will be the first layer, and from if we start from the bottom or the middle of the skin layers, that bottom of the epidermis, this will be the last layer. Okay, this will be the last layer. Okay, and from the top, this will be the first layer. So the finally the stratum corneum is the most superficial layer of the skin. Okay, so it is designed to going to with the withstand repetitive insults. Okay, in order to protect the deeper structures. Okay, the cells of these 15 to 30 layer divide cells, okay, as you can see, um, there will be considered as the overlapping of the lateral concentric exstances, okay, and this squamous, whereas the interlocking of the adjacent cells, as you can see, okay, this will be the largest layer of the epidermis, okay, stratum corneum, as you can see in the picture, okay. The stratum squamous and the continuity of the continuously lost from the skins, that will be surface of the replaced by new cells and emerging from the basal layers, okay, and the sheets of the glycolipid released from the old land bodies, okay, and of the granules, okay, and there will be the layer filled by the intracellular space of the cornified layers, okay, as you can see, this very first layer will be shredded off and new will be added by means of as the uh, downs layers are going to up and up, okay. So we, as you can see in the picture, the stratum corneum is highlighted in the green color. So as you can see, we have finished with the as you can see these um, bracket in the green color: stratum corneum, stratum lucidum, stratum granulosum, stratum spineum, and the stratum basal. And other dermis and the subcutaneous layer, that will be the hypodermis, will be explained in the latter sessions of the skin. Okay, we will stop here. Thank you.